Good morning, everyone. It's Gary from Soccer Pro and Soccer Labs. And in this episode, I want to talk about what's been happening with that team. And I told you I was going to take over a team and implement the Soccer Labs technical training system. I was going to use the Soccer Pro brain training system or video system so that we can increase the soccer IQ of these kids. And I was going to do a little bit of non-traditional field training because there's a lot of good things in field training or outdoor training, whatever your traditional soccer training. But what I've analyzed over the years is that there's some things that are just lacking, so I wanted to implement these into the system. But for the most part, it would be Soccer Pro, Soccer Labs, and fairly traditional with a little bit of twist into the traditional training. Well, in this area we've had a lot of problems getting soccer going. The soccer games are shut down. Kids aren't practicing because they have no games to play, and I don't really know what's going to happen. But I've been sticking with it, and it's been a little frustrating dealing with these COVID restrictions and the fact that you can play in-state. Out-of-state is okay, but you can play two teams from your state, but not if you take those two teams, play them in your state. You have to take those two teams, move them out of your state, and play in a different state. So in this episode, I don't want to talk about all the ridiculousness of these restrictions. It would take a lot more time than I'm going to put into this video, and probably than you have today. But what I want to talk about is something that's absolutely critical to the way that youth soccer is played today, because right now we see the vast majority of these kids are playing 1 foot centric. Okay, and when I say 1 foot, I mean their right foot. There are some kids that are left foot centric because they're lefties. But for the most part, you'll find that the vast majority of kids are right foot oriented, right? Or right foot centric. And you would think that if they are playing with 1 foot, well, they just aren't shooting with their left foot. They aren't dribbling as efficiently with their left foot. They aren't passing with their left foot. And that's all true. But it goes beyond that, because when they are playing with only 1 foot, you'll see through what I've discovered with video analysis of hundreds of hours of video or more. I don't even know what the number's up to now, but it's big. You'll see that the whole game is played in a very specific way. It doesn't just alter the way they shoot or alter the way they dribble. It alters the entire way that team plays, because typically when you have a team that's right foot centric, it's the whole team. It's not one player or two players. It's typically the whole team, and that is a big problem with youth soccer, is there is not enough balance in most players. It's one of the reasons that when kids come to Soccer Labs, it's absolutely imperative that they get onto their left foot, because I'm a tyrant about it, because I know how important it is. It doesn't just affect that one player, it affects the whole system of play. So what I did yesterday, we had our outdoor practice. And the situation we have is that we have two teams. We have a younger team, older team, and I take care of the younger team. The other coach takes care of the older team. He used to do both teams, so it's still kind of a hybrid where he's doing some things and I'm doing some things as we're kind of transitioning that team over. So yesterday he ran some 1v1s, and we had two groups. And what we would do is put set of players here, set of players there, put the ball down the middle, they'd run, sprint out, do 1v1s, go get it. So at the start, I forgot to tell you, some of these kids, I just want to remind you that some of these kids have been training at Soccer Labs. There was one kid on the team, which is why I approached this club to join this team, because I knew this was a good player, and he had a lot of heart, and his mom wanted a good team for him. So I was like, well, yeah, this could be a good opportunity, a good prospect to help me, help the kids, help the team. And then I brought a couple other players over to the team. Unfortunately, a couple quit because, frankly, they saw the dedication and lack of skills on this team, and it was pretty bad. And they quit. I mean, no kids want to be on a team that doesn't have good players, or at least dedicated players with a roadmap to becoming good. And as I've discussed before, these kids aren't showing up. I don't know whether it's the parents or the players. I've made everything free, but they're just not showing up. There's a lack of commitment. There's a lack of dedication. And anyhow, so we've got a couple kids on this team that are from Soccer Labs, and the rest of them aren't, or training at Soccer Labs. Now, the kids at Soccer Labs all have a great left foot. usually it'll be about 85-90% as good as their right foot. They just can't get it as good, but I make sure that they are just driving that left foot so that it's, 85%. And what we do is we measure it, because we do drills. We've got the Ring of Fire, we've got different dribbling drills, shooting drills, dribbling combination with passing, dribbling, shooting drills that we do at Soccer Labs. And then, of course, we gamify it, we measure it, and we keep track of all this. So I know what their scores are, I know what their abilities are. So anyhow, when we got into this drill, what I told the kids, I said, look, you guys, I don't want you biting on a single left-footed move, okay? These kids can't use their left foot, so every time they do a fake, or every time they do a move and they move to their left foot, ignore it, because they're coming back to the right anyhow. So just let them make that move. Let them do that fake, let them do that fancy move, let them do whatever the heck they want to do, but ignore it and just watch their right foot, because that's all they're going to do. They're always going to come back. They're always going to try and move you one way so that they can make space and come back and use their right foot. That's all they know how to do, because they only have one foot. I said, conversely, what I want you to do on offense, when you have the ball, I want you to only go to your left foot. I don't want you to use your right foot to shoot at all. I don't want you to try to make moves to your right. I want you to fake to your right. I want you to make all your moves to your right, because they're going to bite on those. And then I want you to come back and actually use your left foot. Now, naturally, people still go to their right foot. These are 9 and 10-year-old kids, so they still like their right foot. But what happened was, at first, they went out, they used their right foot, and they didn't score. So I said, okay, look, why aren't you using your left foot? You got a great left foot. Why didn't you use it? Okay, so they'd come back, go, okay. And then again, they would go use their right foot. And I'd say, hey, why didn't you use your right foot? Why didn't you use your left foot? Oh, okay, I should use it. Great. Now what happens is they finally switch to their left foot, and it's score, 3-4 times in a row, when they're going, of course. And I told them, I said, look, what happened? You moved to your left foot. What happened? I scored. What happened when you used your left foot the next time? I scored. Okay, so what should you be doing? Well, now all of a sudden they convince themselves that if they use their left foot, they're going to score. If they use their right foot, they're going to not score. So they learned offensively that the left foot's the key, because the defenders have been defending players using their right foot from the time they're a little kid to whatever age they are now. So they're always going after that left foot. And I always ask this of the kids when they come into Soccer Labs. I say, what foot do you score with more? And this is before I start their left foot training. And they say, actually I get a lot of scores with my left foot. But you told me you don't use your left foot, so why are you getting all those scores? Oh, and then there's that confusion that goes through their head. They don't even know why they're scoring with their left foot. And it's always the case where the left foot's open. Okay, the opportunity is on the left foot. It's just a matter of, can you execute to that opportunity? The defenders are just instinctively going after the right foot. Whether they realize it or not, they're always going after that right foot. They're watching the right foot. They're expecting the right foot. They're used to stuffing the right foot plays. And when they're centralized or going after that right foot, they're leaving the left foot opportunity. Most players just can't execute on the left foot, or if they do, it's kind of a bad shot. But even bad shots off the left foot are going in, because that's the opportunity. That's where they're open, where they have to work so hard off their right foot. And naturally, we were taking even the older kids. We're beating the older kids. There's a player on the older kids team, a very good player. He's very aggressive. He scores all the time. Everyone knows he's the best player on the team. And all I told my guys is, I said, look, when he has the ball, I don't want you doing anything but going for his right foot shot. That's all he can do. He can't do anything but his right foot. Don't go after anything but his right foot. And guess who didn't score the whole time? Well, the best player. He just couldn't score because the kids were centralized or centered, focused on his right foot, because I knew that's all he could do. So defensively, when I can get these kids to understand that the opponent is only going to go to his right foot, we can beat almost anybody. Best player, second best player, third best player, it doesn't matter. If you take away the one option they have, and they don't have a second option, they're very easy to beat. most teams, because they play in a very specific way, you take that way away and now they're in trouble. If you look at which way they play the ball, if you look at the fact they're always moving the ball based on the fact they want to pass with their right foot, they're much easier to beat. Now, a whole team is a little bit more unpredictable than a 1v1, but it's still trends. And the way soccer works, of course, is it's not like basketball. It's not 65 to 72. The scores are 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, whatever. So soccer always comes down to the fact that you have percentages of opportunity, and you just have to do more things in a higher percentage way to create those opportunities than fewer things. And when you can start to defend and push people the way they don't want to be pushed, when you can push them all to the opposite side, when they want to go the other way, well, you're going to reduce their opportunities. You're going to make everything a lower percentage opportunity for them. And you're going to win more games. Now, you're not going to win every game. You still see kids compensating, and after a while, especially at the older age, they start to compensate, fairly decently with their 1 foot. They do this outside pass, outside of the foot pass, which is really a crap pass. It's not bad for a little flick pass, but these guys are doing it for distance passes. And really, the reason I hate it so much, the reason I banned that pass from Soccer Labs and all our scrimmages, isn't because it doesn't work at the right time. It's because kids use it so often at the wrong time. They build that habit, and they never build the habit of using their left foot to make that same pass where it's appropriate. They don't get in the habit of receiving with their left foot where it's appropriate, and they use the inside or the outside of their right foot in a convoluted way, which is a low percentage first touch. So my message this morning is very simple. If you are not at 85% skill level on your left foot, you're not a good player. You're a very predictable player. You're easy to beat. Now, a lot of coaches don't even know it because they don't focus on making this happen. They don't even realize it's happening. So they're not emphasizing that right foot centric defending, so you get away with it. But as soon as you come up against anyone that realizes that you're a right foot centric team or you're a right foot centric player, you're easy to beat. You get away with a lot of things for a long time. And then you get to a point, you hit that wall, or you play against a team that you just can't beat. And the reason is that coach just has you figured out. You just have to figure out what they're doing to figure out you. But you have to get on that foot. I get a lot of debate on this, but in my opinion, there is no debate. You are either a two-footed soccer player at the youth level, or you're not a good player. It's just that simple. And people say, yeah, but he's a great player. Well, sure, I took the best player off the team yesterday. He is the best player. And in a game where the other coach doesn't realize how to beat this team, they don't realize how to beat this player, he will do the majority of the scoring because he's the best player on the team. But if he comes against someone like me, I'm going to shut him down, and we're going to take that best player off the field and nullify his ability. We're going to just take him off the field. He'll be on the field, but we're going to take him out. He's not going to be effective, and then someone else is going to have to step up and beat us. So you have to get that left foot going if you want to be a good player. You can be a good player, but you'll never be a great player, and you'll only be a good player against, let's call it less intelligent players or less intelligent coaches that realize what it takes to beat you. And once they realize what it takes to beat you, it's like beating a one-handed boxer. It's not that hard. I don't care how many knockouts that guy has with one punch. If you know he only has that one hand, all you have to do is go to the other side, and he can't hit you. It's the same thing with soccer. If you know the guy only has 1 foot, it's easy to beat. Okay? You just beat him and force him onto the side he doesn't want to go to. It makes him very uncomfortable, and you beat him. So, anyhow, I'm going to get back to work here. This is a really important topic, and I know I'll be talking about this more in the future. But I want you to watch a little video. Don't watch the game, watch some video. And what I want you to see is just how much the ball moves to one side of the field based on the fact that they want to pass with their right foot. And when they pass with their right foot, they want to pass that way. Okay, it's pretty predictable. I'll talk more about it later. I'll show you more examples of in-game video of how this lack of left foot affects their ability to play. I think I posted one just the other day about how the fullbacks or the strikers will pull up short on the left side of the field. They'll drive long on the right side of the field. Again, it's all due to the lack of left foot ability. It just drives the way they play. It dictates where they pull up, where they cut in, because they don't want to get onto that left foot. So they become very predictable players, very easy to defend. This is Gary with Soccer Pro, hoping you have a great day on the pitch. And if you need some great free software to build a players page, do your scheduling and your billing. Remember, we're the only scheduling system out there that has an itinerary system. If you're an admin, if you're a travel team of an admin, if you're an admin of a travel team, you know how much time it takes just to manage the itinerary of the hotels, the booking links, the chaperones, the meal planning. We're the only ones that have a meal planner in it. So if you're a soccer team, soccer club, and you want to ease your burden, if you want to save time and save money, Soccer Pro has everything in it, from the video coaching analysis system to the scheduling system, messaging system, player appraisal system, the billing system, registration system, survey system, your CRM for marketing, recruiting, automating your communication. Every single thing you can do at your club, every single thing you need for a soccer club is in Soccer Pro. We understand soccer, we understand your needs, and that's why we build a platform from the ground up just for you. All right, you have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye now.